Have you ever wondered what it truly means to have a limitless heart? Imagine waking up each day filled with an overwhelming sense of compassion, not just for those close to you, but for every living being you encounter. Today, we're embarking on a journey to explore how we can vibrate with loving kindness and expand the boundaries of our hearts beyond what we ever thought possible. Let's begin by understanding that loving kindness, or metta, as it's known in ancient traditions, is more than just a feeling. It's a profound state of being. It's an unconditional love that doesn't depend on external circumstances. It's loving without expecting anything in return. To start cultivating this limitless heart, we need to turn our attention inward. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs, the steady beat of your heart. This simple act connects us to the present moment, to ourselves. It's here, in this state of presence, that loving kindness begins to flourish. Now consider this. Every person you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Each one of us carries joys, sorrows, hopes, and fears. When we recognize this shared human experience, compassion naturally arises. We start to see ourselves in others, dissolving the illusion of separation. But how do we maintain this awareness in our daily lives? One practical method is through loving kindness meditation. It's a practice where we generate feelings of goodwill first toward ourselves, then gradually extend those feelings to others, even to those we find challenging. Begin by silently repeating phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease." Allow these words to resonate within you. Then shift your focus to someone you love, repeating the same phrases for them. Notice how your heart responds. Does it feel warmer, more open? As we progress, we include more people in our meditation, the acquaintance, the stranger, and eventually, the difficult person. This isn't always easy. In fact, it can be quite challenging. But here's a question to ponder. What barriers within yourself resist extending love to others, especially those you struggle with? Reflecting on this can reveal deep-seated patterns that limit our capacity to love. It's not about forcing ourselves to feel a certain way, but gently uncovering and releasing the obstacles that hinder our natural state of compassion. Another powerful practice is mindful listening. Next time you're in a conversation, truly listen without planning your response or judgment. Be fully present. This not only honors the other person, but also nurtures empathy within ourselves. We can also engage in small acts of kindness throughout our day. Holding the door open, offering a genuine compliment, or simply smiling at someone can create ripples of positivity that extend far beyond that moment. These acts may seem insignificant, but collectively they have the power to transform our interactions and ultimately our world. Yet to genuinely cultivate a limitless heart, we must also turn compassion inward. Many of us are our own harshest critics. We hold ourselves to unattainable standards and berate ourselves when we fall short. But consider this: can we truly offer unconditional love to others if we deny it to ourselves? Self-compassion is not selfish, it's essential. It replenishes our emotional reserves, allowing us to give freely without becoming depleted. So, the next time you catch yourself in negative self-talk, pause and ask, would I speak this way to a dear friend? If not, then why speak that way to yourself? Embracing vulnerability is another key aspect. It takes courage to open our hearts, knowing that we may experience hurt. But vulnerability is also where connection and love flourish. By allowing ourselves to be seen as we are, we invite others to do the same, deepening our relationships. Think about a time when someone shared their true feelings with you. Didn't it create a profound sense of connection? We crave authenticity, and by embodying it, we foster an environment where loving kindness can thrive. Now let's delve deeper. Consider the concept of interconnectedness, the idea that all beings are linked in an intricate web of existence. When we harm another, we ultimately harm ourselves. Conversely, when we act with compassion, we uplift not just others, but also enrich our own lives. This perspective shifts how we interact with the world. Our actions become aligned with a greater purpose, transcending personal desires. We begin to act not out of obligation, but from a genuine wish for the well-being of all. But let's be honest, maintaining this mindset isn't always easy. There will be days when we feel drained, irritated, or apathetic. During such times, it's important to practice patience and remind ourselves that cultivating a limitless heart is a lifelong journey, not a destination. Ask yourself, what daily practices can I incorporate to keep my heart open even when faced with challenges? Perhaps it's starting each day with a moment of gratitude, acknowledging the simple blessings in our lives, or maybe it's setting an intention to approach each interaction with kindness. Remember, every moment presents an opportunity to choose love over indifference, compassion over judgment. It's in these seemingly small choices that we shape the nature of our hearts. As we continue this journey together, we'll explore deeper methods and insights to expand our capacity for loving kindness, touching upon ancient wisdom and modern practices that can guide us toward a truly limitless heart. As we delve deeper into the realms of loving kindness, we begin to uncover layers of ourselves that were previously hidden. It's like peeling an onion. Each layer brings tears, but it also brings us closer to the core. Have you ever asked yourself what lies at the very center of your being? What is the true nature of your heart when stripped of all the fears, doubts, and societal conditioning? We often go through life wearing masks, presenting versions of ourselves that we believe are acceptable to others. But beneath these facades lies our authentic self, yearning for expression. This authentic self is inherently compassionate and connected to all of existence. The journey into boundless compassion is, in essence, a journey back to our true nature. One profound way to explore this is through the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is more than just being present. It's about observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. It's about creating a space where we can witness the ebb and flow of our inner world. When we become mindful, we start to notice patterns, how certain thoughts trigger emotional responses, how past experiences influence our present reactions. Consider this. When someone cuts you off in traffic, what's your immediate response? Is it anger, frustration, perhaps a few choice words? Now, what if we paused in that moment and observed our reaction? We might realize that our anger doesn't affect the other driver, it only disturbs our peace. By acknowledging this, we can choose a different response, one of understanding and letting go. This doesn't mean we become passive or ignore injustices. Rather, we respond from a place of clarity and compassion. We recognize that the other person's actions are a reflection of their inner state, not a personal attack on us. By maintaining our inner peace, we contribute to a more harmonious environment. Another aspect to consider is the power of forgiveness. Holding on to grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness isn't about condoning harmful actions. It's about freeing ourselves from the chains of resentment. It's about acknowledging our pain, learning from it, and releasing it so we can move forward unburdened. Ask yourself, who am I holding a grudge against, and how is it affecting my life? What would it feel like to release this burden? Forgiveness can be one of the most challenging yet liberating steps toward cultivating a limitless heart. Let's also explore the role of empathy in expanding our compassion. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. It's stepping into someone else's shoes and seeing the world through their eyes. This doesn't mean we have to agree with them, but it allows us to connect on a human level. One practical way to enhance empathy is through active engagement with diverse communities. When we interact with people from different backgrounds, cultures, and perspectives, we broaden our understanding of the human experience. Volunteering, participating in community events, or simply striking up a conversation with someone new can open doors to deeper connections. Furthermore, embracing the practice of gratitude can significantly impact our journey toward boundless compassion. Gratitude shifts our focus from what's lacking in our lives to the abundance that already exists. It nurtures a positive mindset, which in turn radiates outward to those around us. Try this simple exercise. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand. Even small moments of joy count. Over time, you'll notice a shift in your outlook, a softening of the heart, and an increased capacity for kindness. Now let's address a common obstacle on this path, the fear of vulnerability. Opening our hearts can be intimidating. We fear rejection, judgment, or being hurt, but vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a strength. It's the courage to be authentic, to show up as we are, imperfections and all. Brené Brown, a researcher and storyteller, eloquently states that vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. By embracing vulnerability, we allow ourselves to experience life fully and connect more deeply with others. Consider the relationships in your life. Are there walls you've built to protect yourself that may also be preventing deeper connections? What steps can you take to gently lower these barriers? Meditation can be a valuable tool in this process. There are specific meditations designed to heal the heart and foster self-love, such as the heart chakra meditation. This practice involves focusing on the heart center, visualizing it as a radiant source of light, and breathing into that space to nurture and expand it. Additionally, incorporating affirmations into your daily routine can reinforce positive beliefs about yourself and others. Phrases like, "I am worthy of love and compassion," or "I open my heart to the world," can gradually shift subconscious patterns that limit our ability to love unconditionally. It's also essential to practice self-care. We cannot pour from an empty cup. Taking time to rest, engage in activities that bring joy and nourish our bodies and minds is crucial. Self-care isn't selfish, it's a foundational aspect of being able to give to others sustainably. Let's not forget the power of nature in reconnecting with our compassionate selves. Spending time outdoors, whether it's a walk in the park, hiking in the mountains, or simply sitting under a tree, can ground us and remind us of the interconnectedness of all life. Nature operates in harmony. Every element has its place and purpose. Observing this can inspire us to find our own harmony within and recognize the role we play in the larger tapestry of existence. As we integrate these practices into our lives, we may begin to notice subtle shifts. Perhaps we're more patient with others, or we find ourselves reacting less and responding more. Maybe we experience moments of profound peace or joy that arise without any external cause. These are signs that our hearts are expanding, that we're tapping into the boundless compassion that resides within us. But the journey doesn't end here. Cultivating a limitless heart is an ongoing process, a continual unfolding. Let's ponder another deep question. How can we extend our compassion beyond personal interactions to encompass global concerns? In a world filled with conflict, inequality, and environmental challenges, what role can loving kindness play? One way is through conscious action. This means making choices that align with our values of compassion and respect for all beings. It could involve supporting ethical companies, advocating for social justice, or reducing our ecological footprint. Moreover, we can use our voices to spread messages of hope and unity. In the age of technology, each of us has a platform, no matter how small. Sharing stories of kindness, highlighting positive initiatives, or simply offering words of encouragement can have a ripple effect far beyond what we might imagine. Remember the concept of the butterfly effect, the idea that small actions can lead to significant changes. Your single act of kindness today could inspire others to do the same, creating a chain reaction that contributes to a more compassionate world. Finally, let's explore the idea of surrender. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up, it means letting go of the need to control every outcome. It's trusting in the flow of life and acknowledging that while we can influence our path, we cannot dictate it entirely. By surrendering, we release the tension and resistance that often block our capacity for love. We become more adaptable, open to experiences, and receptive to the beauty that surrounds us. As we conclude this part of our journey, take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed. Embracing mindfulness, forgiveness, empathy, gratitude, vulnerability, self-care, conscious action, and surrender are all steps toward unveiling the true nature of our hearts. Ask yourself, which of these areas resonates most with me right now? Where can I begin to make shifts in my life that will cultivate greater loving kindness? Remember, the journey to a limitless heart is not a sprint but a marathon. It's about progress, not perfection. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to a state of boundless compassion. In our next session, we'll explore how to integrate these practices seamlessly into our daily lives and how to overcome common obstacles that may arise along the way. Embracing the infinite living each moment with an open heart. As we stand on the threshold of integrating loving kindness into every facet of our lives, we face perhaps the most profound challenge yet. Living each moment with an open heart. It's one thing to practice compassion in meditation or during peaceful times, but how do we maintain this state amid the chaos and unpredictability of daily life? Consider this. Life is a continuous flow of experiences, each moment unique and fleeting. Yet we often find ourselves caught in the past or worrying about the future, missing the richness of the present. What would it mean to fully embrace each moment as it is with an open and compassionate heart? To live with an open heart is to engage with life wholeheartedly without holding back. It means welcoming joy and sorrow alike, recognizing that each has its place in the tapestry of our existence. This level of openness requires courage, the courage to face uncertainty, to accept vulnerability, and to let go of control. One practical approach to cultivating this openness is through the practice of acceptance. Acceptance doesn't imply resignation or passivity, rather it's an active engagement with reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. When we accept the present moment, we free ourselves from the suffering that comes from resistance. Think about a situation where you've resisted what is, perhaps a sudden change in plans, an unexpected challenge, or a difficult emotion. How did that resistance affect you? Did it alleviate the discomfort, or did it amplify it? By accepting the situation, we allow ourselves to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This creates space for compassion to arise, both for ourselves and others involved. Acceptance opens the door to patience and understanding, key components of an open heart. Another aspect to consider is the practice of non-attachment. This doesn't mean we shouldn't care deeply or have desires and goals. Non-attachment is about releasing our grip on expectations and outcomes. It's about engaging fully in the process while allowing the results to unfold naturally. Imagine holding sand in your hand. If you clench your fist tightly, the sand slips through your fingers. But if you hold your hand open, the sand rests gently in your palm. Similarly, when we cling tightly to how we think things should be, we often lose sight of the beauty in how things are. Ask yourself, in what areas of my life am I holding on too tightly? How might releasing my grip open me up to new possibilities and deeper connections? Mindful presence is another crucial element in living each moment with an open heart. When we're fully present, we can appreciate the subtleties of our experiences, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the sound of laughter, the taste of our food. These moments become opportunities for gratitude and joy. But being present also means acknowledging discomfort, pain, or sadness when they arise. It's about allowing ourselves to feel fully without being overwhelmed. By observing these emotions with compassion, we prevent them from hardening our hearts or dictating our actions. Cultivating mindful presence can be as simple as taking a few conscious breaths throughout the day. When you notice your mind wandering or tension building, pause. Inhale deeply, feeling the air fill your lungs. Exhale slowly, releasing any stress or distractions. This simple practice anchors you in the now, where life is truly happening. Let's delve into the role of compassion in communication. Our interactions with others are prime opportunities to practice an open heart. How often do misunderstandings arise from assumptions or a lack of genuine listening? By approaching conversations with curiosity and empathy, we foster deeper connections and reduce conflicts. Next time you're in a dialogue, try to listen without planning your response. Notice the speaker's words, tone, and body language. What are they really trying to convey? Responding from this place of understanding can transform the interaction and strengthen your relationship. Additionally, embracing impermanence is key to living with an open heart. Everything in life is transient: our thoughts, emotions, possessions, even our relationships. While this may seem daunting, it also means that pain and difficulties are not permanent. Recognizing impermanence can help us appreciate the present moment and release attachments that no longer serve us. Reflect on the natural world, the changing seasons, the cycle of life and death. Nature teaches us that change is the only constant. By aligning ourselves with this truth, we become more adaptable and resilient. Moreover, practicing compassion toward those who challenge us is a profound application of an open heart. It's relatively easy to feel loving kindness toward those who treat us well, but extending it to those who hurt or offend us tests the true expansiveness of our hearts. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior or allowing others to mistreat us. Boundaries are essential. However, recognizing that people act from their own pain and limitations can shift our perspective. We can choose to respond with firmness, rooted in compassion, rather than retaliation rooted in anger. Consider a person in your life who has caused you difficulty. What might they be experiencing that drives their behavior? How can you maintain your integrity while responding with compassion? Self-inquiry is a powerful tool in this journey. Regularly asking ourselves probing questions can uncover subconscious beliefs and patterns that hinder our ability to live with an open heart. Journaling is an effective method for this exploration. Set aside time to write freely without judgment or censorship. Prompt yourself with questions like, what fears are holding me back? How do my judgments of others reflect my inner state? What does living with an open heart mean to me personally? As we uncover these insights, it's important to practice self-compassion. Growth often involves confronting uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Be gentle during this process. Acknowledge your courage in facing these aspects and celebrate the progress you make. Engaging in creative endeavors can also expand our hearts. Art, music, writing, dance, these are expressions of the soul. They allow us to tap into deeper emotions and connect with others on a non-verbal level. Creativity transcends barriers and fosters empathy. Perhaps there's a creative pursuit you've been drawn to but haven't explored. Give yourself permission to delve into it without expectations. Let it be a form of self-expression and connection rather than a task to perfect. Community involvement is another avenue for living each moment with an open heart. Joining groups or organizations aligned with your values provides support and amplifies your impact. Collective efforts often achieve what individuals cannot alone. Whether it's environmental conservation, social justice, or spiritual gatherings, being part of a community reinforces our sense of belonging and shared purpose. It reminds us that we are not isolated beings, but integral threads in the fabric of humanity. Now let's revisit the concept of joy. Joy is a natural expression of an open heart. It's not dependent on external circumstances, but arises from within. When we align with our true nature, joy can be found in simple pleasures, acts of kindness, and moments of connection. Make a conscious effort to invite joy into your life. This could be through playfulness, laughter, or engaging in activities that light up your spirit. Joy is contagious. When we embody it, we inspire others to tap into their own. Finally, let's contemplate the ultimate question. What legacy do we wish to leave behind? How do we want to impact the world and those around us? Living each moment with an open heart creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate circle. By embodying loving kindness, we become beacons of light in a world that often feels shadowed by division and strife. Our actions, no matter how small, contribute to the collective consciousness and pave the way for a more compassionate future. As we conclude our journey together, let's reaffirm our commitment to cultivating a limitless heart. Remember that this path is a lifelong practice filled with peaks and valleys. There will be days when our hearts feel expansive and others when they feel constricted. During challenging times, return to the foundational practices we've explored: mindfulness, acceptance, non-attachment, gratitude, and compassion. Trust in your innate capacity for love and the interconnectedness of all beings.